Hey everyone, I'm David on Earth. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. If you've been watching a bunch of fluffy videos about backpacking and you're thinking it's all beautiful views and gorgeous sunsets, well, those kind of things are what brings us out there backpacking, but there are also some not so pleasant things, annoying things to deal with. So let's talk about a few of those things. All right, play the intro. Just like everything in life where there's a balance of pros and cons, a mix of good things and not so good things. Well, that's how it is with backpacking. Yes, we get our nature experiences, the fresh air, the solitude, the panoramic views, the sunsets. All those things are great, and yeah, it can be that. But there are also some things that aren't so great that we need to deal with and make less uncomfortable and less annoying.
And here we go!
So in looking at a few of those, the first thing that comes to mind is being out in the rain and getting wet. Now, who likes to backpack in the rain?
Not me.
I was once told that there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothes.
Hey, can I write that down?
I think that's probably true in most cases. Like, I wouldn't say that about hurricanes and tornadoes, not so much there, but outside of those extremes, really, all it takes is just to have the right gear, know how to use it and when, and you'll be fine. Now, I actually have come to a place where I enjoy hiking in the rain now and then.
What?
Maybe not when it rains for a week straight, and maybe not when it's a constant downpour all day, but there's something about the cleansing and powerful nature of rain that brings a smile to my face. It's like God washing the earth, right? It's feeding the plants and the trees. Rain and water are a necessary and essential part of our world. We just need to figure out how to be comfortable in it.
Okay.
But how do we deal with that on the trail? A couple years ago, I was on a 6-day backpacking trip in Upper Michigan in the fall with my brother along the North Country Trail. It rained for 4 of those 6 days.
Ew.
When I hiked the Colorado Trail in 2018, it rained or threatened to rain nearly every day. I was out there for 42 days. So did it get annoying?
100%.
Was it unpleasant at times?
No doubt.
Would I do these hikes again? Absolutely. Because I had the right gear. I had the right attitude. I had a little know-how and a little patience. Now let's talk about the gear. Now, rain jackets, right? The most common gear for keeping you dry out there on the trail. But you need to know that in spite of what the manufacturers tell you about how breathable they are, they can make you hot because you're working hard while you're wearing your waterproof jacket on the trail, hiking up big hills. And eventually, because of sweating, you will wet out your clothes. So you're wet on the outside of your jacket because it's raining, and now you're wet on the inside of your jacket because you're sweating too much.
Just kill me now.
Well, sometimes rain jackets will make you just as wet as not wearing one at all.
Well, what are we gonna do?
So in warmer weather, I prefer an umbrella if the wind isn't too bad, or maybe a poncho that allows the air to flow better and make me less sweaty. Another piece of advice is to take a second and judge the conditions. If it's a relatively warm day and it looks like it might be a brief rain, forget about it. Just hike on. You'll dry off fast enough. It's just water that will evaporate off your clothes because of the sun, the natural airflow while you're hiking, or maybe the wind is blowing, and of course your body heat. All those things together will dry your clothes out.
Okay.
On colder days, if you are at elevation where the rain is cold, a rain jacket will help keep you warmer. So that's a good option for those conditions. And it may also prevent hypothermia, which is bad, possibly life-threatening. So don't do that. Well, what about rain pants or rain skirts? Again, if it's a cool rain or if it's a cold day, it'll help you stay warmer. Not a bad option for those conditions. Now, what if at the end of the day, you got your tent set up, you're ready to hit the hay, get in your sleeping bag, but you're still a little wet. So if you're not showing signs of hypothermia, like shivering and feeling lethargic, then wring out your clothes just so that they're not dripping, and wear them inside your sleeping bag. Your body heat will dry your clothes while you sleep.
Okay. All right.
I've learned that if I don't do this, I'll be putting on wet and cold clothes in the morning. The bottom line when dealing with rain and being wet on the trail is to do your best with the right gear to keep yourself as dry and as warm as possible, and take the right measures to protect yourself against hypothermia, and just be a little patient. The sun will come out soon, don't worry, and you'll dry again in no time. Now, it's also common when you're backpacking that your shoulders and your back might start hurting. It happens to most of us, and it's caused by several different things. Now, you might be out of shape, or maybe you haven't trained your core muscles enough. Strong core muscles offer stability and take the strain off of your extremities and your back. So be sure to include core training in your preparation activities before going on your next backpacking trip. And do your stretches before, during, and after the day's hike. Another reason may be that you're carrying beyond the weight rating of your pack. If you're not familiar with what your pack rating is, look it up on your manufacturer's site. It will be called something like a comfort rating or max carry weight. The third reason is that your pack may be the wrong size. Measure your torso length on your back from the 7th vertebrae, and where that is when you put your head down like this, the first bump you see on your backbone, that is your 7th vertebrae, C7. And then when you go down to your hip, I will demonstrate. Find your hip, your top of your hip bone, and then go across to your back. So the top of your C7, down to that spot on your back, that's your torso length. Then when you're shopping for your pack, use your torso length to determine what size pack you should buy. Most pack manufacturers have sizing information on their website. If torso length is between sizes, then the most common advice is to buy the larger size. Another thing you can do to help reduce shoulder and back pain is to adjust your back straps. Start by loosening all your straps, then tighten your hip strap. The padded section of your hip belt should sit right on top of your hip bones. Then adjust your shoulder straps. These should be snug on your shoulders, but not so tight that the weight is being lifted off your hips. Next, if you have load lifter straps, adjust those so that it pulls the weight of the backpack closer towards your body so that the weight of the pack doesn't pull your body backward. Then adjust your sternum strap so it's snug. The test for this is that it shouldn't be too tight when you take a deep breath. So if it's physical conditioning, the right size or rating of the pack adjustments, whatever it is, there's a remedy for shoulder or back pain while you're backpacking.
Yes!
Now here's a real common one. Blisters or sore feet.
It's about to get ugly.
I've never known a hiker or a backpacker that never had any issues with their feet. So you're in good company with this one. Troubles with your feet means that your backpacking trip will probably not be very enjoyable.
Brilliant.
Take care of your feet. They are your primary mode of transportation. Blisters are caused by friction. Friction is caused by your feet not fitting in your shoe perfectly. By the way, there's no perfect feet, and it's very rare that you can find a shoe that will fit perfectly. The price and the brand of the shoe doesn't mean that it's a better shoe for you. So go to your local shoe store or outfitter and try on every shoe that you like and find one that fits best. If there's any slippage or tightness or bad rubbing, try a different size or try a different brand or model. I usually tell people not to look at the price until you found a couple shoes that actually fit you. Then pick the one that best fits your budget. Shoes are one of those items in your kit that you should not skimp on. It's that important. And remember, your feet will probably swell sometime during the day during your hike, which means your shoe will fit differently after hiking for a few hours. Well, I buy shoes that are 1.5 to 2 sizes larger than my normal size shoe to help me compensate for my changing shape of my feet while I'm hiking. Regardless of size, when you try them on and do the proper lacing, you should not feel any slip or any rubs. In spite of your best efforts to find the perfect shoe, you're not likely to find one. So, we augment the imperfect shoe with socks to help reduce friction. I wear 2 pair of socks. I wear toe sock liners with a nice pair of wool polyester blend sock over the top of my liners. I'm not suggesting this will work for you, but it works really well for me. Friction can also be reduced by proper lacing of your shoe. You'll want to adjust your lacing to help minimize any slippage. This could mean loosening or tightening. It depends on your feet and how your shoe fits. For instance, my right foot has a slightly more aggressive instep than my left foot does. So I need to loosen my right lacing midway down on my right foot a little more than I do my left foot. Friction can also be caused by dirty feet.
That's gross.
At the end of every day on trail, I like to wash my feet in a stream or a creek, or just maybe with a little bit of water with my bandana or my buff. Blisters and sore feet can be reduced significantly by wearing the right fitting shoe, having the right sock combination, and proper lacing.
Yep, that's right.
The next annoying thing could be the weight of your carry. Having a heavy pack can make for a tough trip. But if you get too light, ultralight, you stand a greater risk of sacrificing comfort and durability with your shelter, your sleeping system, your clothing, your cook system, all that. So the key is to find kind of the middle ground. My 3-season base weight is between 13 and 17 pounds, depending on the time of year and where I'm going and what I have to bring. I've found that a combination of some ultralight gear and some not so ultralight items gives me all the comfort that I need. For instance, if your greatest need is a good night's sleep, a little more weight and a comfortable sleeping system is worth it. If your greatest need is a comfortable pack, shop around for the perfect pack. This is all very individualized, so do what works for you. So if your backpacking trips are not fun because of the weight of your carry, then shop around for lighter weight gear. It might cost a little more, but it'll make a big difference and it'll be worth it.
So what else you got?
Do you find that you don't sleep very well while you're backpacking? Well, for some people, it'll take a while to be comfortable enough in the wild to get a good night's rest. Hearing unfamiliar sounds, or the loud sleeper in the tent next to you, maybe the wind or the rain or storms. You know, there's a lot of things that keep us up at night out there. And here's a few tips to help you with all of that. First, bring a comfortable sleeping system with you. An appropriately rated air mattress that is properly inflated, a warm enough sleeping bag or quilt, a pillow, comfortable night clothes, maybe a beanie or a hat to keep your head warm. These all make a big difference, and it sets you up to at least be comfortable. Another thing that'll keep you up at night is that if your tent isn't set up well. So make sure you have a good setup on your tent, that you stake it down well enough to withstand the wind, and make sure you're not in a low area or in the path of any kind of rain runoff. You don't want your tent to be blown around too much at night, and you certainly want peace of mind in a heavy rainstorm. Now, if you're in a hammock, be sure that you've tested your suspension system, that you have a drip line set up, and that your tarp is staked down securely. You might also want to bring earplugs. I used earplugs for the first few years I was out there until I learned to shut out the sounds of the forest. Now, some people bring sleeping aids like Tylenol PM, maybe a melatonin supplement, but be careful about dosing yourself too much into maybe an unsafe situation. You actually want to hear wild animals if they're near, and mice may be chewing on your straps of your pack. You want to be able to chase them away. So do your stretches before you turn in for the night. And if you haven't had enough electrolytes for the day, maybe you ought to have some of those before you get into bed, because hard hikes will bring muscle cramps at night. So that's it for this video. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you have anything that annoys you when you're backpacking, go ahead and put it down below in the comments, and what you do to help make those more positive. Okay, you know what to do, right? Go live like I want it. I'll see you on the trail. Hey, this is David on Earth. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And go to the website for some deals on gear. All right, see you on the trail.
Very good.